On Friday, there was a massive crash, and it has left us with quite a few questions that we still need to answer because something about this is extremely strange. Hey, and welcome to the Crypto channel. As we saw on Friday, I was live, by the way. If you missed the live stream, feel free to check it out here again. It's really strange what happened there, or rather, the crypto market, reacted to what just happened here. All around the topic of China and Trump, we'll take another look at that in a moment because there are more news updates on it. And we'll take another look at the market, so the market update. Things aren't looking too great at the moment, to be honest. As I already mentioned in the live stream, I think we'll see a slight sideways movement over the weekend. And yes, it's Sunday and we're still in a sideways phase. It dipped down briefly, then went back up again. But that's also partly due to the announcements that came out yesterday regarding China or are now becoming public. Keep that in mind. Because of the time difference, it's sometimes a bit trickier for all this to come out. And then it's also the weekend. Journalists get a bit of time off too. That's why everything comes out gradually, bit by bit, and on Monday, or rather tomorrow, the news will pick up again. Yes, and of course you can take advantage of all this. Remember, crises are opportunities, so it's not just that everything is down right now, but it's also a chance for you to maybe add to your positions. Some cryptocurrencies really aren't doing so well. Have taken a hit and are still not doing so well, so in some cases you can still buy in at good prices. For example, Craft Bar is under 6 cents and ABAX is under, what did we see, 21 or just over $21, or Ethereum at just over 3,800 and Bitcoin at around 11,650, somewhere in that range. These are, of course, also opportunities to buy more. And if you say you want to buy more, then I naturally have a recommendation for you. And that's this one here. OKX, regulated in Europe. Get a €20 welcome bonus with the link in the video description or the pinned comment. Register quickly and get started right away. Verify yourself securely and easily. Top up your balance in seconds. Start with your first trades. You can buy and sell hundreds of cryptocurrencies. And as you can see, there are even more pages. All of this can be done via spot trading or simply with crypto using USD and Euro. Buy and sell in just a few seconds with the simple purchase system. You can do all of this in the app as well. Trade using the spot system. Buy and sell, or even set up monthly or weekly DCA payments. Copy strategies or create your own to make regular manual deposits and automatically buy cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, for example. With the simple buy and sell function, or by converting, meaning swapping or exchanging, if you have a balance here, just top it up easily. You can do all of this via Google Pay, PayPal, or credit card. Simply deposit funds here. The current welcome bonus is €20 in Bitcoin. To receive this bonus, purchase cryptocurrencies worth €200. Additionally, the first 5,000 participants will receive a spot grind bot loss protection of 20 USDC. Use the spot grind bot from OKX and receive this loss protection in case the bot generates losses. And you also have to keep in mind, OKX offers very low fees compared to other providers. So it's not only easy, but also comes with low fees. It's not always the case with simple exchanges that they also have low fees. But OKX really shines in this regard. Now let's dive into the topic. And here we can see once again, specifically yesterday. This is from yesterday, so it was posted on Saturday. And here we see that within 8 hours, Bitcoin's market capitalization lost value, dropping by $380 billion. That's more than the market capitalization of all publicly listed companies worldwide, except for the top 25. So it's really crazy what this crash has brought with it. That was an insane candle, just about $20,000 downwards. And that was a staggering figure that collapsed here. So we were really talking about it. I even said in the live stream, I was just stunned. I actually talked for half an hour. Often just repeating the same thing, but honestly, I was speechless. Yes, and this crash also raises questions. Of course, we know why it happened. We can see it again here. And here's a quick little summary again. Thanks to Robin at this point, I just copied it from him. So, not an export ban, but military use is being restricted. Civilian supply chains are to be protected. That's how it all started with China. So it wasn't an export ban, but military use is being restricted. So the US is not supposed to use these rare earths from China for military purposes. So that's the restriction. The US responded with 100% tariffs. We saw that with Trump, who totally lost it. As I said, I went through all of this in the live stream. China is talking about double standards and new fees for US ships at Chinese ports. That's a new development. And now something brand new has come up. Namely, Beijing says it doesn't want a trade war, but is ready to defend itself, or to defend itself. The whole thing is unpleasant to watch, and of course, it's causing the whole issue to really heat up. And we can see that again here. Mario Naval also showed it, and this is basically the summary of what was written in that short text above me. Instead of retaliating with more tariffs, China is keeping cool and explains that the metal restrictions are due to military concerns, because the belief is that if these rare earths or rare ores, which are essentially earths since they're extracted from the ground, rare ores, rare minerals, if they continue to be sent to the USA, they will be used for military purposes, and that is where the concerns lie. And furthermore, China also says, don't test us, we've got the good stuff. So don't put us to the test, we have the good stuff. And the question still remains, where else am I supposed to get it from? A spokesperson from Beijing also said, you need our rare earths, for example, for your smartphones, meaning Apple and also Samsung, but those are shipped elsewhere. So you can see things have really heated up here. And now let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart, or rather the crypto chart, and we have some questions there. Specifically, there are two people, or rather two wallets, that have benefited enormously. And as we know, on the blockchain, you operate pseudo-anonymously. That means we only know that it's a wallet, but we don't know who's behind it. And the moment the wallets reveal themselves or state what they are, then we have to honestly admit that's when we know who's behind it. But for now, yes, we only know that it's a wallet address. So let's move on. A Bitcoin whale placed a short worth several $1 million just 30 minutes before Trump's tariff announcement. So it's not just, I'll use a little leverage and go short, but rather, several $1 million. An hour later, these wallets made a profit of $192 million during the largest crypto liquidation event of all time. The accounts were brand new and the funds were withdrawn immediately. So it wasn't just one wallet, but rather these two wallets that are shown here, and it's assumed that these wallets are also connected. Those are some pretty insane numbers. This is what it looked like. Funds were deposited, a long position was taken, and then everything was withdrawn again. The same thing happened with the other wallet. Actually, it was even more extreme there. A larger amount was deposited, then a short position was opened, the price dropped a bit, and then came the big short in this case. And of course, it goes even further because this wallet, they recorded the whole thing here, or rather, the Kobasi letter recorded it all again using a graphic. Here, mysteriously, there was selling, or rather, that's when a lot of people started going short. Then Trump posted his massive China tariff thread here. He had already talked about it, but at that point, it still wasn't clear what was going to happen. Then a multi-million-dollar short was placed, as just shown. Then came the announcements of 100% tariffs. Then this liquidation record was hit. Then the shorts were closed. The chart was able to turn around again. And in the end, these big wallets made extreme profits here. But not just these wallets, also these wallets as well. And that's really crazy. Hold on tight. According to CoffeeZilla, a wallet on Hyperliquid just before the announcement yesterday, you can see it here, 1649. Now let's go back. When was the announcement? At 1650. So 1 minute before, a short worth $23 million was placed. 1 minute. And exactly 1 minute later, President Trump announced these 100% tariffs on China, which led to the largest liquidation in crypto history. And that's obviously intense. And now we can see here, the short was entered. Look at that. Wow. Brutal. So that's twice, basically 200 Bitcoin that were shorted here. Man, what's going on? And then there's also the liquidation chart here. This is everything that got liquidated. So these profits are just insane. Look at this. The longs that got liquidated here. That means the longs that were liquidated at that moment were just brutal. And then a few shorts after that because it went back up. But this chart is just something else. How many longs were just liquidated during this period when it dropped down here? And then the shorts, after the brief bounce, came back. But it's crazy. It's just insane how much money was burned here. $16.7 billion in long positions. burned. Now you might wonder, how is this even possible? And what's happening here? And who could be behind this? And there's already a suspect. At least there were already the first pictures. Namely, Donald Trump. Then there were the first pictures where he signed something about 100% tariffs. And behind him, you could see a very young person, and many people couldn't even make it out because I have to admit, the photo was very poor quality. But it was his very young son who was meant, namely Baron Trump. And now, there's a new statement. According to Forbes magazine, Baron Trump has made around $80 million with his Bitcoin and crypto investments. Now, it's not clear, was that yesterday? Was it within the last week? How long ago was it? At least it's not specified exactly, like saying, yes, he did that in 5 days, but rather just recently, as they put it. There's no precise time frame given. But of course, someone like that immediately comes under suspicion in all of this. You also have to keep in mind that Forbes reports on things like this over a longer period. They don't just go and say, wow, he made 80 million yesterday. They also have to consider that this is investigated, it's processed, and only then does it become public or reach the press and get published. And also posted on the website. That's why it's 18 million. That doesn't mean he made it yesterday. But if Forbes has already reported on it, and he's already made 30 million or more again, then soon there will be another new Forbes article. And that's how you stay in the conversation about the whole thing. So it's intense what has happened here. And why are there these wallets here? In this case, there are two large wallets. One with two positions. One with 100 Bitcoin and the others. We just saw those as well. So these two wallets have earned extremely well. And now you just have to consider that behind these wallets, it could also be Donald Trump's sons. Let's remember he has three. Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, and Barron Trump, who are at least active in crypto. But in the end, it could have just been an insider. So the suspicions that the Trump family has enriched themselves extremely well after this announcement, or that they had already planned the whole thing before the announcement, that is very, very high. Or rather, the speculation is very, very high. And the probability, I would also estimate it at over 60%, that the Trump family definitely has something to do with it. What do you think about that? Write it in the comments and always say what you think about it. Do you believe that the Trump family is really behind this? I'd really be interested to hear what you have to say about it. I have another little tip for you because it really is a great offer. The Tangam ring is currently 25% off, plus free shipping, plus €5 in Bitcoin. This deal is only available until October 20th, just 8 more days. Check it out. The link is in the video description or the pinned comment. You probably won't get it any cheaper than this. When you add it all up, it costs around $110 to $112, depending on the current value of the Bitcoin bonus. Sure, it's only $5, but if Bitcoin goes up again in 2 or 3 days, then the discount is even better. And with the current Bitcoin price, yeah, I'd take $5 in Bitcoin too, especially if it's likely to go up again in October, even though right now it's not really an Uptober. It's more like a Downtober, or, well, not much of an Uptober. Yeah, it's really tough right now. But we can see what the reason for all this was. That's pretty clear here. Remember the news about all of this, everything that's been happening, and it's not over yet. So it's going to continue, and I'm really curious to see how it all unfolds. You can also write in the comments what you think. How do you think this will play out? Will he withdraw it? He's got just under 3 weeks left to actually push it through by November 1st. I don't think it's going to go through. I think there's going to be a reversal because he needs the rare earths. Beijing is right, they're actually in the better position. Then Beijing, or China in general, will just say, you know what, we'll sell them somewhere else because there's demand for them. It's good stuff, we've got the good stuff, as they said. And if crypto keeps going down, you probably know I love memes, and I have a great meme for this. If crypto keeps dropping, there's only one way out, and that's this one right here. Yeah, because Donald is looking. Always, guys. And yeah, Donald is always a meme. Usually after such crashes, quote-unquote crashes, Donald always reacts like, by the way, we're still looking for crypto people. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's already been making the rounds online. Yeah, and there's also something from Yu-Gi-Oh! A brand new card, namely the Orange Wizard of Tariffs. And when you play it, it immediately halves your portfolio. Yeah, this card is actually funny. If it weren't so sad, it really is. The way it is. The bottom line of all this, we're trying to draw a conclusion, but it's not pretty. The thing is, there really were insiders trading here. With the Trump administration, they already use crypto a bit as a plaything anyway. On the one hand, stablecoins are used to bring inflation into the world, and on the other hand, they use crypto to make profits. So, the whole topic isn't very nice and it's not easy either. I hope you were still able to take something away from the video, and if, at the end of the day, it's only the questions that remain, questions we may never be able to answer, namely that there was manipulation here, but who it was, nobody knows. I hope we'll ever find out. That remains to be seen. With that, I'd like to say thank you for watching and see you in the next video.